Hello and welcome to another video. I'm currently on a 7-day cruise with my family. So I thought it could be fun to do a little what I read on vacation. I am currently reading Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. I am only on page like 20, but so far it's pretty interesting. It's about this guy who, when he was younger, he was going camping in the backyard and his friend was snatched out of the tent in the middle of the night. And he has not lived in that area since that happened, but now he's way older and he is living back in the house that he was living in when that happened. So that's where I'm at now. I'm just sitting on the deck, gonna just chill and read for a little bit. I mean, okay, it's day 3. I'm still reading Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. It feels like I haven't been reading it for that long, but clearly I have, and it's very fast-paced because somehow yesterday I read 50% of this book. Like I said, I feel like I didn't even really read for that long. It is intriguing and it's very fast-paced, I feel like. Even though not a lot is like happening, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure how that works, but I'm gonna keep reading this. So I finished reading Middle of the Night by Riley Sager, and that book was interesting. It did not end in any way that I could have guessed. It was a very twisty ending, which simultaneously kind of didn't really make any sense. Not really sure how I feel about that. Today I went ahead and gave it a 3 stars, which I think I'm gonna stick with. Just because like I was into the book when I was reading it. And I do really love Riley Sager's writing, just the way that he describes things in his books and like the storyline progression that he has. But the actual plot of this book was not my favorite from him, so that's why I gave it 3 stars. Last night before I went to bed, I started reading Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. I am very excited about reading this book. It's been about 1.5 years since I read one in Rome, and I'm currently about like 75 pages into it, and I am fully hooked. I am loving the 2 main characters so far and what we've gotten to know about them. And I'm about to sit here for a couple of hours and just read, and I imagine that I'm probably just gonna be completely entranced by this book. Day 6 of the cruise. I'm still reading Practice Makes Perfect. I'm really enjoying it. I think I'm about 215 pages in. I started this 2 nights ago and I am enjoying it. So what this one is about, it's the second book in the Rome, Kentucky series by Sarah Adams. This book follows Annie. She's the youngest sibling of the Walker family. So the first book, When in Rome, is about Noah and Amelia, and this book is about Annie, and she has always been seen as like the goody two-shoes, the good girl of the town, but she doesn't really feel like that anymore. And so Amelia's bodyguard, Will, comes into town. She ends up asking him for help, like learning how to date. Obviously, you can imagine how well that's gonna go. I am loving these characters. I love their personalities and their little quirks that Sarah Adams adds into their humanness, I guess. They feel real, even though they're obviously just ink on paper. Yesterday I was in my room and I was wanting to read my book, but my brothers were in there taking a nap and they had the lights turned off, and we have an interior stateroom on this boat, which means that there are 0 windows in our room. So at all hours of the day, if you turn off the lights, it's pitch black in there. So I couldn't turn on the lamp to read my book. So I started reading a new book on my Kindle. I wanted to start reading Survive the Night by Riley Sager because I thought I had that on a loan on Libby, but I could not find it. So I ended up starting the 12 Holidates by Emma St. Clair, which is a novella about Taylor and Weston. Taylor has just gone through a breakup. She discovered her boyfriend was cheating on her, but she had all of these like Christmassy themed dates that she wanted to do with him. And Weston decides that to help her get over her heartbreak, the best way to do that would be for them to complete the holidays together, even though they've both been secretly in love with each other for their entire lives. You know, it's like, that's just how you do that. And then last night I finished reading the 12 Holidates. So we're on day 6, and so far I finished 2 books, although one was technically a novella, but we're gonna ignore that, okay? We don't need to focus on the nitty-gritty details. I just want to note how brave I'm being very loud on the deck where everyone can see me with nobody here beside me. It's about 5 o'clock. I have probably about an hour and 45 minutes until I need to go get ready for dinner. So I'm kind of hoping I could maybe finish Practice Makes Perfect before then, because I think I feel like I have less than 100 pages left. Oh no, maybe not. I have about 130 pages left. Yeah, IDK about that. We'll see. Practice Makes Perfect. I'm not sure quite yet when I'm gonna read it. When I figure that out, I'll let you know. Then I have my Kindle with me, so I was trying to decide what I was gonna read next. And I started reading Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent, but that's kind of a really in-depth, like, fantasy novel I don't think I'm ready for. So I kind of think I'm gonna pick something else to read. Something a little bit more light and fluffy, because that whole thing was about vampires. I honestly haven't read a fantasy book with vampires in, so I was very confused. That one will take a little bit more brain power for me. And you know, I'm on vacation, I don't have time for brain power. So I think I'm gonna pick something else. So last I talked to you, I said I was going to start reading Serpent and the Wings of Night, but then it was going to be too much brain power. So last night I decided I was going to read Faking the Fall by Julie Christensen. This one, much less brain power. It's the 4th book in the Sweater Weather series, which I really love. I have already read the first 3 books in the series. So this one follows Hadley and Link, and they were friends in college, but then one day Link disappears and they haven't spoken in years. But now Link is kind of in trouble and he needs Hadley's help to kind of clear his reputation, and that requires them to fake date. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. If you think about it, not a lot of fake dating like scenarios actually make any sort of sense. That's what I'm reading now. I am on page 72. I'm
like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
I am a quarter of the way through the book. So this is going to take me 3.5 hours to finish it. I'm definitely not going to finish it before I have to get off the boat, because we have to get off the boat tomorrow. I think between tonight and sometime at the airport tomorrow before we fly home, I can finish this book. I'm enjoying it so far. I really like Hadley's character. Then hopefully I can finish this and I will have read 3 books on this trip, plus 1 novella. So fingers crossed. It's been a couple of days, but I wanted to come on here and give you guys a last little conclusion to this video. So I did end up finishing Faking the Fall on the plane on the way home from the trip. So that still counts as finishing that book on vacation. So I ended up reading 3 books and 1 novella on this trip. I'd say that's pretty good for a 7-day trip. I ended up giving Middle of the Night a 3 stars, Practice Makes Perfect a 4 stars, The 12 Holidates a 3.5 stars, and Faking the Fall 4 stars as well. Anyways guys, that is all I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up to let me know that you enjoy this type of content. Comment down below the time where you read the most books that you've ever read in your life, and subscribe to my channel for more bookish content in the future. I hope you have a lovely rest of your week, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!